So take two. Elizabeth Wagmeister joining us live from Hollywood, California to talk about this case. Elizabeth, I believe that you can hear me now and we are good to go. So that's the beauty of live television. You know, technology is great when it works. And yeah. So speaking of who's watching on television, tell me, what are you hearing out there? You've got your finger on the pulse of everything celebrity in Hollywood. Are stars talking about this case too?
Absolutely. You know, this is really the case that has everyone talking, certainly not just in Hollywood, around the world, but everybody is talking about this because it almost seems as if it is scripted and it's in a movie. You know, this is something that you wouldn't actually think would be playing out in a courtroom. And I think that something that is really rare is we don't typically see cameras in the courtroom, certainly not with celebrity cases. Typically, celebrities want to do everything they can to settle. They don't want their dirty laundry to be aired in front of the world. This is obviously the exact opposite of that. Johnny Depp brought on this case. He was okay with the cameras. We know that Amber Heard's team did not want the cameras. The judge allowed it. So I think because this is such a spectacle and we're seeing every single moment of it for weeks, I think that's why everybody is talking about it.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Elizabeth. I mean, dirty laundry, there are loads and loads of dirty laundry in this one. And I have to tell you, one thing I said at the outset, and I still stand by what I said. I do not think the juice is worth the squeeze for either of these two because these details are horrific. They're stomach turning. I mean, we heard the worst of it yesterday coming from Amber Heard. And I'm curious, of course, you've been following this case as it's been brewing, and we saw the case playing out in the United Kingdom. Tell me, were you surprised too that these two stars decided that they wanted to go to trial on this?
Absolutely. I was really stunned that they wanted to go to trial because, as I said, typically celebrities, they want to get away from this. We'll have, you know, the smallest legal case and they'll settle behind closed doors. They do not want this to be leaked to the press, and they certainly don't want this to be airing in front of the world. So this is very atypical, but we heard Johnny Depp on day one when he took the stand. He said something to the effect of, "I am obsessed with the truth." We know that this case, of course, came because Johnny is suing Amber. A lot of people said, why even go forth with this? Your career might already be over. What are you going to gain from this? Well, Johnny Depp, we heard him say it himself. He wants to speak his truth. He feels that he was wrongfully accused, and he wants to be able to speak his mind for his fans. And I would also suspect he really wanted to be able to face Amber Heard in court, since he does say that what she is claiming is not true.
Excellent points you're making, Elizabeth. I want to kind of take it a step further now. Something you mentioned, you know, his reputation, right? This is at stake for him. He wants the truth, his truth out there. She's getting her truth out there. And when it comes to his reputation in Hollywood, I'm curious to get your thoughts, especially on this with all of the great work that you do there. Tell me, have you ever really heard about his reputation being damaged because of that op-ed that Amber Heard wrote?
Absolutely. I mean, I think everybody knows that Johnny Depp, throughout the decades of his career, he kind of had this bad boy demeanor. But then when you have an op-ed that is written seemingly about you, although she did not name him, with accusations of domestic violence, that is no longer in bad boy territory, which is sometimes seen as sexy by consumers or sexy by Hollywood studios. You never want the words domestic violence anywhere near your name. So I think this absolutely did make an impact on his reputation. It would be silly to say it hasn't. That said, Johnny Depp also had allegations of behavior issues on set. We know that when he was on the set of the most recent Pirates film, the last one that he starred in, that they actually had to stall production. So this isn't the first time that there has been bad behavior reported. But again, bad behavior on set is very different than behavior of domestic violence at home. Now, of course, these are all accusations. Johnny Depp is denying them. So I believe that he is really trying to salvage his reputation. And what will be interesting to see here is what happens in the court of law trial versus the court of public opinion, but also, will the court of public opinion even matter to Hollywood studios? If this trial is helping Johnny Depp, certainly among his fan base, and they're very happy to see him on the stand, will that even make a difference to Hollywood studios? I'm going to say probably not, because to your point, Julie, the details that are coming out, no matter who is right or wrong, these details that are coming out are the opposite of what you want if you're a major movie studio who wants families to come to theaters. This is not a family-friendly case, that's for sure.
Right, no, not at all, Elizabeth. That's something I've been thinking about, that when you think of who's in the court of public opinion, casting directors might be watching, movie directors. If they think that these two are possibly a risk on a set, working with others, or even with, to your point, the box office admission, might they be not inclined to cast them for future roles? Your thoughts, please.
Absolutely. I do think that no matter what happens in this case, just because the level of detail and how disturbing and how shocking they are, I do think that this is absolutely going to impact both of their careers. Let's say that Johnny Depp is found to be innocent in this. That's innocent on the allegations that Amber Heard brought forth. But we have still heard him on the stand admitting to drug use and admitting to some pretty erratic behavior. I think that's something that anybody can agree on who has been watching this trial, is that this appeared to be a very volatile relationship. It seems that there was erratic behavior from both sides. Now, again, that's different than what is going to be judged in the court of law. But when it comes to Hollywood, if you are the head of a major studio or major network and you're going to be paying hundreds of millions of dollars to get a project out, you can't have anything on the line. So when you have these sorts of claims and these details that are coming out, that's the last thing that you want next to a name that's going to be on your movie poster.
Oh, most certainly, Elizabeth. And I want to ask you as well about the Me Too movement and how this might play in this case. You have broken many very highly influential stories about the movement. You were there covering the Harvey Weinstein case, for instance. And tell me, for folks kind of wondering where these two parties might fit in that movement, or how those who are advocates in that movement might be perceiving what's going on, what can you share with us, please?
I think it's interesting. I think that this can have a damaging effect on the Me Too movement. I also think in the eyes of some others, it can have a positive impact. I think that for starters, when you see a woman at the level of Amber Heard, she's certainly not the biggest A-lister that Hollywood has ever seen, but compared to anyone who's sitting at home, if you're a woman who's a victim of domestic violence and you see a Hollywood actress who's going through this, no matter what you think about her claims, that's going to be pretty tough to watch, because you see her on the stand, she's sobbing, she's crying. There's reactions on Twitter. Of course, anytime that you are going to put yourself out there, whether you're famous or not, you open yourself up to opinions, and that can be incredibly damaging. So I think that's part of it. But also, it remains to be seen what happens in this case. It's no secret that a lot of people say, I don't believe Amber. A lot of people say, I do believe Amber. But I think that that is really the through line here, is that anytime a woman speaks up, you are putting yourself at risk to not be believed. And that is one of the biggest fears, and the reason why a lot of survivors of domestic violence do not come forward, whether it's in a high profile case like this, or whether it's just talking to your friend or talking to your doctor. We do know that statistically, most women who have been abused never do come forward. So I think that that is a takeaway here. But when we look at this case, this is really between two people, and it has become this huge spectacle. And again, there's a lot of opinions as to who is telling the truth. And I think no matter what ends up happening in this case, people at home are still going to have their opinions and stand pretty firmly in what they believe.
Yeah, they sure will. Elizabeth Wagmeister, it's so great to talk with you this afternoon. We're going to have much more with Elizabeth coming up.